picking that, really having Thrall in most of their draft. I don't think we'll see Tracer coming out from BlossoM's side, less likely than Tempest.
Sure, definitely true. And we didn't see it in the last one either. We had the Tracer ban, but it still didn't go through. Or excuse me, the Leaming ban. We still didn't see the Tracer with a Tastar or Artanis either. So definitely a different Battlefield of Eternity game earlier than what we saw yesterday.
Yep, and Tempest seemed like they are confident and Duck, of course, on that Lunara. As we saw back in from Eastern Clash, Lunara came out as the counter, soft counter to Vala. So they let Vala open intentionally. Let's see if that happens again in Game 2 draft as we go right into Battlefield of Eternity. Let's see, the first ban goes to BlossoM.
Just to point out, in terms of career games played for all of these players, there has been, in HGC Korea, 1 game of Tracer from Tempest. It was played by Sign, actually. He switched roles for it. Sometimes when you have the Tracer play, you do have that role swap, and Tempest is so flexible with that anyways. And with the Tastar ban already highlighted here for BlossoM, it starts to seem less and less likely that my dreams will come true. For those wondering what I mean, I was discussing with G-Clef earlier on in the broadcast that I wanted to see more Leaming and ranged comps versus the Tracer because the Tracer's been so unsuccessful. I want to see a Tracer comp work and break down why it worked, but alas, may not happen tonight with the Tastar ban. Ticking down here, 5 seconds to go. There's the lock-in. We're not going to see it here.
I like the style of draft that comes out from BlossoM. It does not overlap at all, and there's the Vala ban. Of course, that race for Immortal, and both the team fight so strong on this map, especially. So there's the ban, and now BlossoM. Their color and the way they draft, they really, except for the support, of course, they don't really overlap at all. That's what I like, and BlossoM just wants to go on their own way, and Tempest has their own color with a lot more balanced in macro and micro. So it doesn't overlap too much, but some of the key picks here will be, I think, Sergeant Hammer or Tychus coming into play later on this draft.
Well, with Malfurion removed already, I was going to say we'll probably see the Arthas coming in, and Tychus very early in this draft. I would have expected Li Ming to be taken instead. Perhaps they want to bait it and go into a melee-oriented comp with a Grey main, perhaps even melee Grey main, like Wisdom Duelist Grey main, with how this is turning out to be.
And with Li Ming on the other side, Modern Life also played Anubarak last time to soft counter Li Ming's spell damage. So let's see if Li Ming actually likely going to come out.
I feel like BlossoM has to pick it up here. Okay, there it is.
And against Arthas, of course, Morden will be okay, but Judy has been a little bit too aggressive as they did not have the most protection before, but there comes Alarak.
Then whispers about this guy reappearing on this map, especially yesterday from L5.
Almost.
Oh, that was actually Towers of Doom, my bad, but we've still seen a lot of people hovering. We've seen it discussed. We saw it in ban hovers. Banning the Muradin, as they already have Arthas as their main tank. Pretty standard here. Tougher ban right now for BlossoM. When you have Malfurion, you can't do the healer ban. If you had Ariel, you can. Ragnaros, not a bad choice.
Of course, and they already picked up Tychus for their DPS, so seems to be the way to go. And just targeting down high zero pull will be unlikely.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to do that. And this is a map where there's not a lot of standout heroes. There's combos and combinations that we've seen in the past, but with the heroes picked, you're not worried about anything specifically here. So there's not a clear ban. You're not worried about Tracer, because Tast's already gone. Wow, Zeratul getting chosen. So targeting Morgan Life instead. But there's nothing that you look at Tempest draft right now and go, oh, okay, looking for X and Y, so we got to prevent that. It's more just, how are they going to supplement this damage? It's probably going to be Nazebo coming in. Well, Artaz coming up before I could even say that. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Nazebo here as the final pick with the Lucio Artanis. And other options, I mean, ETC is still available. His Rockstar passive can make this really easy to work. It's risky to go into the Sergeant Hammer with the Tychus in terms of damage. but that's something we've seen too. When you have Artanis, you kind of get ahead early with that, with your amateur opponent, and then force your opponents to dive into you. That's when you just kind of sit back defensively and chunk those Immortals down. But they have Li Ming, so I don't like it as much.
ETC will, of course, bring in the CC, but his trait won't really do too much as they are not yet. They do not have the auto attack DPS for their side.
It's only Artanis really that's going to affect in terms of the race. So for BlossoM, they're looking for a tank. And Murden remove. They could go ETC themselves, doesn't pair with their comp.
I would like it if they actually pick Johanna here to cancel out all the Tychus damage. Instead, they're gonna go with the Lunara to have that constant auto attack and poison damage.
Well, this is pretty easily countered in terms of damage by Lucio, but you know, the range they have is mixed. They can fight at a distance with the Li Ming and the Lunara, but they can also go in deep and look for picks because they have Alarak and ETC. It's a very what's the word I'm looking for here? It's a very well-rounded comp, and they have Malfurion's roots to pair with Alarak. That was the old combination we saw even before Malfurion was really changed and buffed.
I think Tyrael or even Zarya fits pretty well into the last one. They can protect both Tychus and Artanis and give shields, and also they have CCs to zone out the enemy, as Malfurion can also root, so it can kind of counter the enemy skills.
We're looking for Duck's hero here. And I think it's either going to be the Nazebo or probably Sergeant Hammer coming out. The Tyrael wouldn't be bad. It's going to be Falstad. Okay, that's certainly not what I expected. Probably going to be Burst Falstad, Mage Falstad, so they can have that mage damage to help knock Lunara out when she gets caught, especially if they can get some good swaps. It's not going to be easy with this composition because they don't have much follow-up. They have the Howling Blast, so we can see a swap into Howling, but that's going to take a lot of coordination on the side of Tempest. This is one of their better maps. They didn't get Dragonshire, but they have taken Battlefield of Eternity. They want to win this map. They want to take this series into a 2-0 lead. We'll see if BlossoM can turn it around. Let's go into game number 2 right now. In blue, the underdogs, BlossoM, Scarlet on Malfurion, Dudu on Li Ming, Wiz on Alarak, 2D on ETC, and No Chat on Lunara. Said too fast, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chief.
And in red, Tempest, hide on Lucio, Duck, and Falstad, lockdown on Arthas, sign on Artanis, Modern Life on Tychus. And again?
Yeah, just in case you guys forgot.
Okay, here we go.
Remember, with Alarak, Malfurion, and ETC, the early game is absolutely not a place that Tempest would like to fight. Keep this in mind if you ever face this in your Hero League games too. You don't have to just go fight at level 1 just because that's what everybody does. Just sit back, wait for the minions to spawn, get in lane. It's not like they can do anything to you otherwise, especially on this 2-player map. Judy in an aggressive position to look for the power side to anyone who comes nearby, but already Tempest predicting this.
That's interesting. Modern Life on Tychus, Duck on Falstad, and Lockdown on Arthas.
So Lockdown's making that run back into these melee heavy heroes right now. Not going to blind Howling into that bush. I think they know that Judy is in there. I say bush, I mean fence. Line of sight blocker would be technical. Passive play out of Tempest in this early game, respecting the composition.
And also Alarak, of course, a very strong solo laner. Power Slide does catch Lockdown for the moment, and also get rooted, but not enough damage to follow, as there are cover-ups coming out from Tempest at the same time. Better trade for BlossoM at the end. Yeah.
Luckily for Tempest, at least Lucio's heals don't cost mana, so not a lot of resources having to be spent to eventually heal this up. So we see the follow-up roots here. Duck super low, does get taken out. That's going to be a reset for Dudu. Does a lot more damage there.
And perfect timing because the Lockdown went top to actually help on that top lane, as Alarak is one of the strongest top laner in the game right now.
So we see this comp for BlossoM. Super strong in the early game. It's working out for them. We're going to see the Falstad flight in. And amateur opponent important in this moment. Need to get into a position to use it, though. So you see Artanis is just working down there as they 4v5 on the defense. Judy is actually getting super low. He gets taken out. And Sign's going to look for the swap onto Scarlet. No real retreats here, just having to self-heal. There's the follow-up. This is the coordination I was talking about that they need with these swaps, that they need with the Howling Blast. And they make it work. Now Hyde can just amp it up. I'm going to heal. And this is going to be a very nice first phase here before halftime for Tempest.
Malfurion also used the root for himself to be on the aggressive, so he didn't really have any escapes off that swap. So I like the plays coming out from Sign playing Artanis, actually saving the swap until the last moment to get that easier swap later on. But they don't have too much CCs, so he really needs to hit that swap in order to pick on one.
Okay, 6K lead right now, as we're going to see an invade here. No Chat escapes death. And they're just going to aggressively take out Duck Duck, but they've spent so many resources killing him that they can't stop the Immortal from going down, even with the kill. On to Falstad. Nice Howling Blast here, actually going to help them disengage. They get the Immortal with 8K health. That'd be a half shield Immortal.
Also stacking some of the quest, as the quest it's a quest that improves the skill every 5, every 10, every 20. It's a very fun quest to actually go through.
Yeah, and I do want to point out, because we didn't talk about this, but I did notice earlier, I thought we were going to be seeing Mage Falstad for the burst to look for the kills onto Li Ming, Lunara when they get out of position or get hit by Howling Blast with the swaps. It's just going to be auto attack Falstad instead.
Yeah, there's not much of a blind threat from the other side. And with those auto attacks, I think ETC, the only one in the front line who we already saw Judy going aggressive and getting blown up, which we will really likely to see that again.
We're seeing a lot of this Lucio, knockback to stop power slides really come into effect. We saw it once more here again from Hyde. Really, I feel like it's almost becoming a thing that Lucio is a soft counter to ETC because of how many ways you can prevent the CC from going down. So the game's still really even. In terms of structures, yes, Tempest obviously has the slight advantage, but in every other way, this game is dead even in terms of lane pressure, in terms of EXP. Arthas is actually going to sneak the top camp, so Tempest will get both camps for free. Alarak coming up to check too late. Harasses him and says, get off of there, too late. They don't actually secure this bottom one yet, though. Sign's going to go for the aggressive swap again onto Scarlet.
Loses the camp, but Scarlet does get taken, not yet taken out. Artanis is the one actually going very, very low. Both team actually looks like it will be a 1-1 trade. Not yet. Sign does not go down, but at the end he does.
Yeah, he needed more autos to proc that shield again. He was too far away from it. Wiz looking for another pick here. Not going to happen. Dudu on the chase. Doesn't secure the kill. And actually will be found and caught here. Hyde, very aggressive. Looks like Lockdown should be able to get out another good defensive Howling Blast. Hyde's going in aggressive. They're going to commit to no chat, and they get it. Judy's going to go down. What a turnaround there. Tempest now taking half a level lead in advantage. They have that camp that Arthas was able to take top for free, so Lockdown got that. You see the pings here for BlossoM saying, oh, we got to deal with that. That's unfortunate. They have to deal with it now because the Immortal's already up, and with amateur opponent, this is going to be a great start here for Tempest in the second phase.
Yeah, they're already 1/4 HP off. Soon it's going to be half in no time already. Look at all this. All that damage, consistent. That's also why they Falstad went for the auto attack to help on that Immortal race, which BlossoM also has that damage, but it's more of a burst, not really a constant damage coming out from Li Ming and Alarak. So,
okay.
This is actually a very good position from BlossoM. They really have to favor this Immortal and go defensive here.
Hyde really making a name for himself on the Lucio. He's first person to play it in Korea and is consistently making this happen. There's a swap on a no chat this time. A little bit easier to get away with Lunara than it is with Malfurion, but a root comes down afterwards. Wiz is in trouble. Modern Life, though, will go down. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Duck Duck is on. They're on the chase on him.
And Duck goes down. That gives another reset to Li Ming. Dudu is trying to look for another kill, but just not enough as Judy is trying to stall some time. And it even cleansed, but can he actually get out? That's going to be just 2-2 trade at the end.
That was actually, that cleanse is so cool to me because it shows the respect, because we've seen almost every swap hit so far this game for Sign. So when you see the pre-cleanse, it's like, oh, I just assumed that was going to hit.
Yeah,
and
that also canceled the Howling Blast from rooting Li Ming also.
So both factors there. Tempest is going to have level 10 now.
Scarlet's on top of things today, man.
Yeah. Unfortunately got caught twice in terms of swaps, but everywhere else the cleanses have been good. But this is still going to be a 1 Immortal. This is nothing BlossoM could do. They were so behind in terms of positioning because of the pressure in that earlier double kill. They don't have 10 either to contest. This is nearly a fully shielded Immortal. They're going to have it with the Shaman cap. And this is a very painful moment right now, as BlossoM will just struggle to get 10. They get their own counter pressure here with their Shaman cap. It's not the end of the world. So this is going to be tough to defend. We do actually see the commitment to the Purifier Beam coming out for Artanis, so going to help deal with Lunara. So, I mean, it can be used on any target. If Scarlet gets swapped, could be the target there too, but Lunara going to have a tougher time retreating when that's there or being aggressive enough to get into range to do her auto attack damage.
Mosh pit, of course, and no Syndra Ghost at this time. But still, that should be enough. And Gus to just disengage. They just want this fort to go down, and BlossoM feeling that win.
Here comes the potential Howling Blast coming from the side. Lockdown really wanted it. Not going to happen. Good defense here. Good engage from BlossoM, forcing the Gust and making sure this doesn't do anything more than top fort. So no keep, wall. And Tempest is going to rotate down to try to force a fort, but I don't think they can even get that. They're just going to go for the neutral siege cap. Sign's already on it. They even walk away from that. They are just not taking any chances in the second game. Very safe play.
Yep, they're thinking that they're going camp, and Falstad is already back on top, soaking that EXP from the top lane. They just have to stall some time, and as BlossoM just found that out, they want to go aggressive right here. Okay,
BlossoM's going to get this neutral siege cap, but I feel like he's not going to do as much as what we've already seen from Falstad in the top lane, as you mentioned. He pushed the lane all the way to the keep wall. Now he's going to get to the neutral camp by himself. So Duck doing work. Another wave going to keep this pushed onto the keep wall. And defensively, Tempest setting up to protect this bot fort. It's very healthy. Has its satellite tower next to it as well to help protect. There's just not much that this Siege Giant camp gets done. With the ability to fly and gust as well, BlossoM really needs to be careful about overextending. They back off. All right, intense music here suddenly. As we get to level 13 around the corner for Tempest.
And very surprising, I just realized that Hammer on level 7 talent from BTC thought maybe they thought they need more damage on Judy, and Judy, as I'm speaking of Judy, gets very low, almost taken out.
Knockdown super slowed here. Just threw it on the no chat though, gonna allow his escape. Hyde does not break it down in order to protect his teammate there, just gonna save that. And Alarak rotated up to help deal with Duck, but the swap over the wall!
Perfect swap from Sign there. Judy pops that mosh pit, does not catch anyone!
Totally useless there. Here comes Duck in with the gust. Or rather with the fly in. Doesn't have an angle for a gust, sadly, but they're gonna chase. Look at Hyde. Wall riding his way to knock Wiz into the fight. Needs to be careful though with this, as we see a leap committed. He's actually getting burned down. Has to use his heroic to stay alive.
Sound barrier does pop, and Judy actually survives in the midst of all of that. So good trade there. It was a 2-for-1 heroic trade. So, but Mosh Pit of course has a longer cooldown.
All right, they're gonna heal up, tap up, and set up for another push towards this Immortal defensively now. Sign looking for the swap, gets interrupted, gets in with the swap, doesn't actually pull them back. Gust here gonna actually push away Alarak, so this is gonna be a big numbers advantage now for Tempest. They're gonna get the kill on a no chat. That's 2, make it 3. Wiz
tried to hide, but Counter-Strike does not connect. Trying to look for his life, but does not. Grenade actually finishes off the last moment.
So close call here for Tempest is going to be one of their weaker Immortals.
And even Graviton Vortex coming out from Sign wants to get that double grab now.
Yeah, he got sent over himself, but didn't actually, or rather got them pulled, but didn't actually get to go in himself. But the Gust allowed that all to happen. 14 now to 13 is just around the corner for BlossoM. They should have it before this push happens. The Immortal's still spawning. And Tempest is just going to group up and brute force their way bot. Not even going to send Duck to the top lane, at least not for the time being. All right.
And having all those walking heroes as Tempest.
Oh, the double swap again!
There we go. No follow-up though. Counter-Strike does not hit anyone. And Odin does pop for the extra damage. The beam, and Odin, everyone is on the chase of BlossoM, and that's the thing. That's the best thing when you have the Gust to actually put them all to the side.
Okay, Sound Barrier up in 1 second here. He's going to need to use it. He needs to use it. There it goes. Sign looking for the swap onto Wiz, helps secure that kill. Dudu is backed into the corner, does get the teleport over the wall. But this Immortal didn't start with a lot of shields. It's still got a few left as they work on this keep. This could be a push for the win here. Chase the base is done for Lucio. Could be a win if they get another pick here or two. Sign looking for that double swap, doesn't even hit Scarlet this time.
Yeah, Tempest does not have any heroics available while BlossoM has all 5 available at the time, so Tempest not going to be super aggressive as it could actually be their chance to come back into the game. They're still a talent level down.
Okay, and a Hearthback tap up. Gonna have full resources available for the next Immortal fight. It's a ways away, so they're gonna take this while ahead before the Immortal spawn to take as many camps as they can. It's important that BlossoM got their own camp first, otherwise they might have been just overwhelmed by the pressure they're even going to, because they knew Tempest had to Hearthback. Take the opportunity to take the neutral siege camp in the bottom. Notice the positioning of Judy down there. He's going to see the rotation over, and that alone is enough protection to make sure that BlossoM can get this. Look at that, Judy right in the bush here. And it's going to be a camp for a camp on both sides. Actually favorable for BlossoM because they got the Shaman camp that Tempest, importantly, could not.
I really want to give props to Judy as being the solo tank, and ETC is not one of the most tanky hero on that front line, and really has been soaking in a lot of them. Here comes the flight from the other side. There's going to be a Gust.
It's absolutely going to be a Gust attempt here. There it goes.
All 5 men, and Scarlet even popped the Twilight Dream to stall some time, but Duck's on the chase to Nara. Even Sound Barrier popped. Nara is the first one to be gone, but Judy just power slides over, looking for his life, and looks like this is a disaster for BlossoM.
Ice block there, going to actually secure the kill onto him because he couldn't actually retreat anymore, or he couldn't avoid that Purifier. Due to with the B step, but that is going to be a 4-man wipe and likely game with these respawn timers. I mean, Tempest can't just walk over the core. It's not the craziest respawn timers, but this is almost the last nail in the coffin. They're going to just win the Immortal with full shields. Oh, they were looking to set up for that, but actually decide to invade, look for the kill on the Wiz instead. They could just back off after getting this wall down and still win the Immortals. But respawn's coming in now for BlossoM. There'll be a half measure taken here by Tempest, doing kind of both halfway instead of committing 1 to the Immortal or 2 to the 5-man for the keep.
They've got most of their damage, especially Artanis and Tychus on this Immortal, so it was pretty fast. And before
triple catapults here on the bot lane, by the way.
A lot of pressure already built on the spot lane. BlossoM really needs to hit that 16 before, so they're coming for defense. But having that talent down and really not catching much with that mosh pit is super hard, even if there's not much of a CC, but there are some skills that can actually cancel mosh pit easily. Even Lucio can just spoof. Yeah,
Lockdown's looking for a flank here. Actually, Duck could also fly in at any moment. This is a problem, though. Already the kill here onto Sign.
But a trade for Nara on top left as they were focusing at the same time. Lockdown is the only tank left, but let's see, Lucio's not enough, and Gust a little bit too late to save his teammate.
Looks like Tempest just wants to try to commit to actually finishing this Immortal off, but they're not going to be able to do it right now. They're just going to try to force BlossoM to stay here while the catapult pressure mounts again, but they didn't get the double keep. It's really unfortunate that they committed some to top, so they lost. They didn't clear the Immortal as fast as they could have. Had they cleared it a little bit faster, maybe this is a full shield Immortal right now. So they didn't get to keep or that massive Immortal, but 15 seconds to go for Sign, 25 for Lockdown. And they're just trying to force this down. They already forced Lunara to go home because of that lane pressure. Oh, nice pick here onto Hyde. BlossoM is not letting this go, man. They are really holding on to dear life in this game number 2.
To Flight and does not get silenced at the end.
Okay, so another pick onto Hyde. That means no healing on the side of Tempest. And they may actually just let this Immortal go. In fact, it looks like they will. Just going to look for the pressure here instead.
It looks like as there are same talent down right now. And BlossoM is the one that actually going in aggressive here. Does not steal the camp, but Judy is in trouble. Soaks in a lot of damage.
This is kind of risky. Could have cost them the Immortal. It doesn't look like it will. Gonna win it with 8.4k. You see the double catapults moving now into the core.
I think if they were not going fully into stealing that camp, I think they could have got the Immortal faster and just clean up the rest a lot quicker than they are doing it right now.
Well, they're going to try to cut their losses here, clean both the bot push and this cap to push for the Immortal. It's going to be top. It has to go through a full fort and wall. Tempest has all respawn now. Hyde's back up and alive. They don't have a crazy amount of siege with this comp, but they have enough to slow this one down. BlossoM is just hoping that they can even up the EXP, try to get 20. Big telekinesis here on the Lockdown. He's very low. We've even seen the barrier come down, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade as we do see a huge commitment in here. No Chat and Judy up in the front lines. Be looking for that Twilight Dream, but 2 dead here already for BlossoM. Make it 3. The Twilight Dream just not enough as Sign continues to get swaps. He had the double swap there. And Dudu's in trouble. He gets over the wall.
And actually, ETC survives at the end of the day by going to the other side. And
okay, 2 catapults on the core.
Level 20 just hit for Team Tempest, and they just want to go down and finish this game.
Yep. I'm going to knock this tower down first. They have 20. Catapults cleared here. They're going to commit now to the core. 10 seconds before Alarat comes up. 15 before Lunara. This should be enough damage this late into the game. 1935.
Moshpit is available, but gets cancelled into animation phase. Wow. And that will be game for sure going to Tempest. It is going to be 2-0. Already up in series.
Definitely a few good fights for BlossoM there. The telekinesis was really good repeatedly there.